Hello. How are we doing? Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Pinky Punchy. You can call me Pinky. You might notice I am my PNG tuber today. That is because I am streaming on my laptop. Because I realized, because we're continuing our life beginnings and always today, what I realized, I downloaded the game on my PC from Steam, and I realized the save didn't share over the cloud. So if I want to continue my save, I'm gonna have to continue with going on my laptop. And because I want to stream concurrently between Twitch and YouTube, I don't think my laptop can handle that plus my live 2D model. So we're going PNG tuber today. Also, thank you, Jacob Sight, for following me while I was offline. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, how's everyone's day been going today? My day has been, I feel like I say this every day, but my day has been pretty lazy. There's some people talking outside of my window right now. I don't know what that's about. But whatever. Yeah, basically, what have I done today? I haven't even done my Anki cards yesterday. I really need to do that. Should I do that on stream? I feel like, no, that's not, I don't know. You have to be interested in that. I had an idea, so I realized I still haven't used, I got a lino cut, like, starter kit, when I was, visiting my mom and her girlfriend. So we went to an art store while I was visiting them, and I got a lino cut beginner's kit, because I'm not a like total beginner of lino cut. Why do I feel like okay, I want to turn down just a little bit more, just because I want to make sure it's not peaking. Sorry. But anyways, yes. A few weeks ago, I went to visit my mom and her girlfriend, and while I was visiting them for the weekend, we went to this really cool art store, and I got a beginner's lino cut kit. I'm not technically a beginner at lino cut. I mean, like, I've done it before, so I'm not like, I would say I'm still like, I'm not like proficient at it. I've done it like maybe like 3 or 4 times total in my life, so like not completely beginner, but like definitely not proficient. But I was thinking I could maybe make that into a stream of doing like a lino cut print and figuring that out. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And I was also looking on Fiverr for logo designs. Exciting! I know that's not like strictly necessary, but I think it would be fun to have one. So I want to get one, and I want to also start properly like cutting down my VODs into like watchable YouTube videos. Now that I stream concurrently, I want something to put on my actual videos tab, so I want to cut down some of my VODs. I'm hoping to cut down the first VOD of Our Life Beginning and Always. So look forward to that. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been doing much of anything besides, you know, like the usual stuff of like feeding my cats and like eating. So yeah, how about we get started on continuing Our Life Beginning and Always? Let me pause the music for me because I know it just pause. There we go. Pause. Make sure we're still streaming on YouTube. Yep, we're good. Also, so sorry, I won't be checking the YouTube chat that much because I'm able to log in because this is not my main YouTube channel on this account. So I'm not able to log into like the Twitch, the like OBS like pop up of the YouTube chat. So I'll try to click on periodically to see if anyone's saying anything, but I'm really sorry. Oh, I should unmute the fucking okay. Anyways, unmute the music. Music up. Music up. There we go. Okay. So where were we? Sometime later, okay, so where did we leave off? We left off with, let's see, where did we leave off? We left off with, we reached adolescence. We're 13 now. We're not 8 anymore. We're 13. Exciting. And then, Cove came over and he brought a fruit bouquet from his dad. And then us, Cove, and, a new character who was it Dale? Was that his name? We ate the entire fruit bouquet before my mom's or my sister Lizzie could have any. And then I got very tired, so I ended the stream, and now it is nighttime. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside, and you laid in bed awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched, staring over at it with a furrowed brow. Hello? Someone's honking outside. Okay. From your vantage point, you saw only the moon and an open sky. You were scared, confused. Oh, hello, Coffee Cave 123. Yes! Hello, you like my mom so much? Thank you so much. It's by Jules. I forget their exact name, but the link to the artist is in my link tree if you are interested. But welcome to the stream. So happy to have you. I'm feeling scared, confused, annoyed, curious. Confused. And we are playing Our Life Beginning and Always, which is a free-to-play indie dating sim visual novel where you're trying to date this boy Cove over the course of your childhood. We just finished our childhood section, which was when we were 8, and now we're 13 in our adolescence section. What had caused that noise? Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Coffee Cave! I really appreciate that, thank you so much! Frowning, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You might as well find the reason behind the disturbance. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? Cove? You squinted. Yep, Cove is right outside your window. No prob, stay cool. Aw, thank you. Your house was very angular, and some parts stuck out further than others, so it theoretically wouldn't be hard to climb around on. Still, just because someone could didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against a section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort it took to keep him upright. Oh yeah, because he doesn't have a cast anymore. That was the other thing. When we first met him the first summer when we were 8, he had a cast in his arm. Now he has no cast. He can climb like a spider monkey. Hold on tight, spider monkey. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. Hey, Cove. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove climbed over the ledge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside. What the fuck are you doing here, man? Hi, Pinky. Hi, Pinky. What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? This sure is a surprise, but you're always welcome here. Is everything okay? What happened? You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Amazing, my dreams have come true. Oh, jeez. There's a lot of options. What should we pick? What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? I don't think I'm bold enough to say, what's up, Romeo? Is everything okay? What happened? I'm gonna ask if everything is okay, because Cove has gone through a lot of shit, and pretty much every single time we've played this, he started crying. So I'm just gonna assume that something is up, buddy. That I wanted to see you. I figured this was the only way. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered, and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. You never want to talk about it, Cove. Well, besides with you, I mean, but that's why I did that. Okay, talk to us. Please, tell me what's going on. What is going on? As unexpected as this was, you were touched. Cove felt like he could tell you what was wrong. Yes, please, he finally trusts me. In the last part, he didn't trust me with anything at all. Please, tell me. Tell me what's wrong, Cove. I might have tried calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. And we're in, like, the 90s or something. I think, like, it's, like, 90s, early 2000s. It's a vague time frame that we're in, but cell phones do exist, but I don't have one. Cove suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom. Still is, probably. What is up with your mom? Can I fucking learn what the fuck is up with your mom? We have heard so much about your mom, and we know nothing about her. Besides the fact that she didn't come with y'all, and your dad got full custody. So, like, what the fuck happened? Also that you came with a broken arm after your parents divorced and your dad got full custody. So what the fuck happened? You raised your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation? You shouldn't have done that. Eavesdropping is bad. I would have done that too. You didn't comment on him eavesdropping. I'm not gonna comment, because I don't think I would have done that too, but also I'm not gonna be like, you shouldn't have done that, because, like, our situations are different. There were other things to talk about. Oh, there sure are. Are you going to stay with your mom for a while again? Oh! Has he stayed with his mom for a while before? Every year, Cove was sent off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during the summer. Okay. Are you going to stay with your mom? Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. Oh? No mom? That's what I thought too. But no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. Oh! Wait, are we finally gonna meet his mom? You waited for him to continue. He didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. Okay. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. Let me know how the game volume is too. I'm gonna try and turn it down just a little bit, because I'm noticing it's about the same level as my speech volume right now, and I feel like that's probably too loud. Okay, turn it down a little bit. That should be better. What did your mom say? She told him she'd come. I know she's coming soon, before school starts. Oh. You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. Yeah, we have! He'd tell you about past memories or what happened while he was visiting her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. Very soon, you were going to see Cove's mom in person. Whoa. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him. He was pacing across your room, his features pained with dread. Oh. Before, they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch. Now we're all gonna be together again. Now we're all gonna be together Jesus. Now we're gonna all be together again. The three of us, after all this time. Just for a few weeks. I know I should probably be happy that they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out. And now I feel really bad for feeling this way. Pinky, it's so... His fist tightened and his eyes became misty. No, Cove! I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already, and I'm not a little kid. Though he wouldn't meet your eyes, you knew he was waiting for you to say something. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad. That is hard to deal with. We can deal with this. I'm sorry, Cove. You know I'm here for you. Yeah, that's a lot. You didn't know what to say. Yeah, that's a lot. Cove blinked, the beginnings of tears away. Cove blinked the beginnings of tears away, snuffling. Snuffling, not sniffling? Snuffleupagus? You snuffling, buddy? Yep. I'm snuffling. He seemed to feel at least a bit more comfortable after the mutual agreement that the situation was crummy. Yeah, see, that's sometimes all you need. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. Okay, let's save. You marveled at how the day had started. You had woken up eager for summer vacation. Now, things seem so crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude. Oh, that was the other thing! We met a really rude kid who fucking hated us! And I don't know what his deal was, so... Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard, and different. Why couldn't things just get better with time? Pinky? The sound of your name, said quietly, pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you, concerned.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. You meant it. Yeah, I'm okay. You didn't mean it. No, I'm not. I don't know. Who, me? I'm more worried for you. Wow, things are kind of bad for everyone, huh? Who, me? I'm more worried about you. You don't have to forget about yourself for me. I want to listen to you, too. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. It keeps on peeking up into the yellow. Is that cool? Is it peeking? I hope it's cool. I hope things are okay. Here, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit more. And then turn the game capture down a little bit more. Okay. Okay. That should hopefully be good. Actually, let's turn it. Okay, that should be good. Yeah. Sorry, technical difficulties. He had come here conflicted and upset, only to end up worrying about you. He really was a great friend. You know, I don't want to talk anymore about this. He looked away, his lips thinning into a line, and rubbed his arms. But I kind of don't want to go back home either. Could I stay a little longer, just doing something else? He appeared equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. How could you possibly turn him away? You can stay tonight, but we shouldn't make a habit of this. I've got a flashlight and some cards. Are you in? Of course, you can always stay here, Cove. I've got a flashlight and some cards. You in? You tilted your head, waiting patiently for his answer. Cove perked up at your response, a smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. You felt a little better at the sight somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight, you were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you'd never want to undo, even if it did even if we did nearly fall out over the fact that his dad paid me $20. Who would have thought Cove would mean so much to you? You certainly had in the beginning. You had kept your distance, and so had he. Now you considered him to be one of your closest friends. You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again, but you could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. You smiled gently at him. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit for myself. Smiled gently at him. You put your hand on his shoulder. You patted his back. You hugged him. You took his hand in yours. Ooh. You nudged him with your foot. You hugged him. You moved closer and wrapped your arms around him. It wasn't much, but you had hoped the contact helped even a little. Cove froze up, startled. After a moment, his arms came up and he returned your hug. Aww. The two of you remained like that for some time. He might have mumbled something to you, but it was too quiet to tell what it was. When you pulled back, his expression had softened into something more natural. Conversation was stilted and broken often by silence at first. Then both of you were able to get into your usual candor. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought that you truly wanted to keep having moments like this with him. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would have to part ways, and you knew Cove felt the same. You opened your tired eyes, groaning as they adjusted to the bright light that was streaming through your window and warming your peachy skin. My pinky skin? With a loud yawn, you rolled away from the sunlight and blinked a couple of times, clearing the sleep from your eyes, before realizing with a start that it was actually morning. Oh shit! You couldn't remember even falling asleep. Here, let me just check on YouTube chat. Okay, now no one's here. That's okay. Still want to check, just to make sure. Cove had crept through your window during the night, and the two of you had spent time together, trying not to wake your parents. You must have fallen asleep while you were hanging out, but couldn't put a finger on exactly when. You wondered how late Cove had stayed before heading home. You rubbed your face and yawned again, contemplating whether you should get out of bed and get ready for the day, or stay snuggled up for a little while longer. Until your gaze landed on an instantly recognizable mop of pale green hair, and you bolted upright and gasped in surprise. He never left! He was still there! In the morning! Cove! You laughed out loud, you jumped out of bed, you froze. Cove! He had fallen asleep while sitting on the ground and precariously leaning his head on the side of your mattress. Oh no! With your shout, Cove's eyes snapped open and his head slipped from its source of support. He didn't stop going down until he smacked right into the floor with a crack. Oh no! You clamped a hand over your mouth and looked at him with wide eyes, curled up where he had landed rather ungracefully. Oh, excuse me. Ow. You laughed quietly, you laughed loudly, you helped him up. Are you okay? You helped him up. Shh, my moms are gonna hear us. Are you okay? You winced at his tumble, hoping no one else in the house had heard either of your outbursts. Yeah, I'm alright. Cove rubbed at his forehead a little, and you weren't sure that was entirely true. Hello? If either of your moms found out Cove had slept here last night, the two of you would be in big trouble. Cove blinked at you a couple of times, his eyes growing in panic as some thought that only he could hear settled in his mind. Ooh, what thought? What you thinking about, Cove? Oh my god, I fell asleep. You weren't exactly sure what to do as you watched Cove pace your room, looking around frantically. Cove's hand flew to his face, letting out a sigh of relief when he found his glasses right there where they were supposed to be. Despite that, he hadn't calmed down completely. The atmosphere still frazzled. Oh, his little, mouth is like... It's going to be alright. We're going to be in so much trouble. Just calm down. Settle down before moms hear you. You didn't say anything. Settle down before moms hear you. Cove nodded, his shoulders tensed as he fixed you with his firm stare with his turquoise eyes. Letting out a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his hair in exasperation. He couldn't look at you as he spoke. He couldn't look at you again as he spoke. I'll see you later. You were confused by how all this had played out, but hoped that that was true. Right. Bye, Cove. And at that... Jesus Christ. At that, you were suddenly wrapped up in a tense embrace. As panicked as he was, this seemed to be something he couldn't forget before leaving. Aww. Thanks. Again. You're a good friend, Pinky. He firmly whispered the words into the top of your shoulder. But you were let go before you had a chance to respond or even fully react. In a matter of seconds, he had climbed over your bed and opened the window. A cool breeze rolled off the ocean, fluttering through Cove's hair and filling your room with its salty scent. Cove fearlessly stepped out onto the ledge. You wished him luck, you rallied him to keep going, you suggested he sneaked out the door instead, you urged him to hurry up. You rallied him to keep going. You already got up once, you can totally get back down. You weren't sure if he heard you or not, but he kept going along, one foot in front of the other, with increasing speed until his form disappeared out of sight. You stuck your head out the window as far as it could go to try keeping watch. He walked the full length of the ledge before jumping down to the top of the garage, then lowering himself onto the fence. From there, he finally dropped down to the ground. You threw out a thumbs up at his successful climb. He ran off towards his house without stopping, disappearing behind the side of another building. You had to admit that you were pretty impressed at how doable he made that look. With a little sigh, you reclosed your window. Deciding there was nothing more you could do, you hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. You put on your slippers, you checked yourself in the mirror, you made your bed, you just left. You put on your slippers. You knew it was summer, but your slippers were comfy and cozy and made you feel better whenever you wore them. You took the stairs, slowly attempting to mask your face into a look of innocence. You were sure that someone would have come into your room had they heard anything strange, but you couldn't be too careful. You had to play it cool. When you stepped into the living room, Elizabeth was there, tapping her finger on the counter. "Good morning, Elizabeth." She looked you over immediately, her eyes squinting at the greeting. "Why are you being so weird?" "You hadn't even done anything. Your big sister never missed a beat, unfortunately." You turned and offered a tight smile, her lips pursed together even tighter. "Pinky?" You shrugged it off. You clammed up. "Wouldn't you like to know?" "Sorry." You excitedly blurted it out. You folded. You clammed up. She began to smile, thinking whatever you were hiding was bigger than she assumed.
Come on.
"What's going on?" Nothing." Further suspicious squinting occurred as she waited for something. But ultimately, she rolled her eyes, and you weren't sure if you were in trouble or not. She didn't seem to care to dig any further. Whatever. And then she walked straight out the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and you let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang with her friends from school, around town. Today you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace and alone. Your moms were both out by the time you had gotten up. They had left you a serving of food from the breakfast they'd made. Hash browns, an omelet, fruit salad, and there were a few sausage links. Damn, that's a good breakfast. You took a little bit of everything. You passed on some parts because they weren't things you liked. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid meat. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid animal products. You passed on some parts because they weren't things you liked. You appreciated that there was variety in the meals your moms made. The parts you did have were tasty. The day lazily drifted by at home, and eventually your parents returned. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering in the frosty air for a moment or two before grabbing a bottle of cold ice water and taking a long drink. It was a perfect balmy summer afternoon, and you had decided to head outdoors and find something to do. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he had left this morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Would it be bad to go over to his house right now, or to call him to check in? You stepped out of your house, still stuck in an internal debate with yourself, and when a voice caught your attention. Hi, Pinky, who is it? It's a woman. Confused, it must be his mom. Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognizable woman was waving at you, a friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memories for where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. Not your school or from the country club your moms took you to because we're rich. You had absolutely no idea who this woman was. The woman crossed the road towards you, and you were a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back into the house and lock the door. Oh, Cove's mom is hot. Oh, hello, sailor. Hello, Cove's mom. Oh my god, does she have a sun tattoo? Oh my god. Oh, because she's obsessed with the sun and his dad likes the ocean. Oh, that's really cute. Except, I guess not that cute because they got divorced. Oh, what voice should she have? Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, was that presumptuous? I've heard about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you? What? I feel like I should give her, like... Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, was that presumptuous? No, not Valley Girl. Come on. I want to do like a New York accent. Like, oops, I'm sorry. Was that presumptuous? I've heard about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you? Mr. J. You shook your head, and she removed her sunglasses to reveal sparkly ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden, she seemed a little more familiar. My son lives here, and my ex, too. Hello, miss. With a bent smile, she lifted a hand to point at the condo across the street from your own house. She was Cove's mom! Oh my god! You didn't know why you hadn't realized sooner, now that you'd gotten a good look at her. Excuse me. Excuse me. She seemed nice, she seemed sort of strange, she looked really young. It made sense that she was Cove's mom. She's felt so different to Cove. She was super pretty. She felt so different to Cove. In the little time you'd been around her, she'd given off a totally different impression than Cove did. No matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she had appeared here so suddenly. Cove mentioned she was coming, but you hadn't gotten the impression that it would be the very next day. She extended a hand again, this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers in front of your face, and the assortment of bracelets that dangled from... I'm Kyra Priest. You can call me Kyra. You shook her hand. You didn't shake her hand. You shook her hand, sure. You reached out and took her hand, and she shook yours firmly, grinning wide. I'm Pinky, but you already know that. That I do. Cove mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Pinky. Okay. Yes. Yes. Continue. Yes. Continue. It's nice to officially meet me. Yes. Save. Hello? It's nice to officially meet me. Yes. Continue. Continue. Hello? Is the game frozen? Oh no. Oh no, is the game frozen? No. Oh, come on. Come on, Mr. J. Okay, well... Fuck, okay, I guess we're gonna quit out? Fuck, okay. No. Okay, if it would let me quit out, if it would let me close the fucking game... Let me okay, task manager, come on, task manager, task